So we are 1 week on from the Ultra now. I have to say, I'm feeling absolutely fine. I went for a run yesterday though, and my knee still hurts, but everything else is back to normal. And I have to say, I've missed doing the vlogs. Every time I've been out for a walk, I'm like, get my phone out, film it. And actually, I've realised I don't need to do that anymore. But one of the things I'm doing today is, again, one of the treats, which was to go out for a day out with my brother, because my brother's been putting up with me doing all these vlogs and stuff for ages on walks. I'm going to vlog it again today though, just to annoy him, because we are going to Winchester today, because we like our royal history, and Winchester is full of royal history. So our mission today is to go and see a couple of graves of old monarchs. So we've basically been doing this for a little while. We basically love our royal history, and we want to try and see if we can find all the kings and queens sort of tombs in this country. And we've got a few left to go, and we're going to try and tick a couple off today. One is Alfred the Great. Edward the Elder is another one, and then there was something called an interregnum period, which was a period where there was no monarchy, because the monarchy were overthrown by the Cromwell family. And we're going to go and see the tomb or the plaque of Richard Cromwell, who was was the son of Oliver Cromwell, who was probably the main person during the interregnum period. So yes, what we're going to do, we're going to try and find the Lord Protector, Richard Cromwell's plaque, alongside Alfred the Great and Edward the Elder, who was Alfred the Great's son. Right, anyway, first, I've got my backpack as well with me today. What is in my backpack? What am I taking with me? I can imagine things haven't particularly changed to finish the Ultra. I still like doing my usual stuff. So I've got my bottle, got my water in there. Now, we are going out for lunch today. We're going to just go to a Wetherspoons. So I'm going to eat like an Anglo-Saxon king there today. So I've had a look what they eat, and I'm going to take some tips and have a meal similar. But anyway, you've got to make sure you have snacks. I knew that last week. So I've got my banana, orange and apple. 2 oranges in there. Obviously need my wallet to pay for the lunch. Still got my sponges and my foot pads. Can't go without them, can I? Power bank. Is there anything else in there? Headphones. And then alongside the water and stuff, I've got my dextrose tablets and my sugar tablets. I've then got my biscuits, because all kings need biscuits. And somewhere else, there's so many pockets in this, but I know I packed something else. Oats and dark chocolate Nature Valley, because apparently they loved oats. So there we go. I'm more than set today to do this long trek. It's going to be about a sort of 10-mile walk round trip, essentially. So 10 miles, so 5 miles out, 5 miles back to go between all these plaques. So yeah, certainly well stocked for it, and I'm looking forward to cracking on. But before we do all that, time to go on the home treadmill and do some weights. In the brief period where England didn't have a monarchy, we had a Lord Protector, and one of those Lord Protectors, Oliver Cromwell, was his son, Richard Cromwell, between 1658 and 1659. So that's it, he only ruled for a year, and then essentially just wasn't cut out for it. And then he decided he didn't really want that life, he wanted a quiet life, and he actually exiled to France under an alias name, John Clark. I want to know a question for you. What would your alias name be if you had to exile somewhere when you didn't want anyone to know where you are? And my middle name's George, and obviously my name's Harry. So I would have George Harrison. I'll essentially swap my name round. I want to know, comment, what would your alias name be if you wanted to go under the radar? Things never change. Watch this. It'll appear out of nowhere. It's almost as if I've done this before. Great, had a oddballs top, or probably glasses, a smartwatch, or a heel. He's probably missing out though, because I love these. I've already had a protein shake this morning, but I'm on a new health push now. So obviously I've done the Ultra, so I feel absolutely fine. But obviously I've lost quite a bit of weight in that time, and obviously I've started to put some back on. I want to bulk myself up a bit, so with those big arms, not at all. But that's what I want to work on. So it's having protein shakes quite a lot at the minute. So taking my shaker bottle. Sorry, Dad. But yes, I will try and eat a little bit like a king today, but this is essential to me. And I'm sure If Alfred the Great could have done, he would have been a hooligan. And that will keep me going for the rest of the day. I'm still taking my biscuits though. Yep, still got the Cairo felt on. Out running. Not really, we're late for the train. I've got a ridiculously heavy bag on my back. But if we don't get this one, we'd have to wait an hour. So yeah, I look ridiculous, feel ridiculous. But at least we'll get there on time. Just 10 minutes away, or 10 minutes waiting more for the train, and then I think it's going to be about another hour or half an hour, something like that. I've had a bit of sponge in my shoes since the Ultra. Look how flat and crispy it's got. It's completely like flattened down, so it does show that I have, used the softness of it to kind of take a bit of the pounding off my feet, and yeah, they're still doing the trick. I have to say, I thought I was going to stop using them after this, but nope, still going with them, and they're still working, so maybe another trip to Savers soon. Are here in Winchester. We are just heading to the plaque of Alfred the Great and Edward the Elder. So I'll start with Alfred the Great. A couple of little facts for you. So he was born in 849 AD. He died in 899, so lived 50 years, which is quite long in that time. There's always this story around him about burning these caves. So he fought the Vikings, and he was very successful against them. And when he was in hiding from them, he stayed at I believe this peasant's house, and apparently she got mad at him because he burnt the caves, but she didn't realise he was the king. So that's another fact about it. But I think it's a little bit of a myth, that one, but it's still a funny story. Yeah, he's the only king to be called officially the Great. There is Canute the Great, but that wasn't official, whereas he was officially called the Great. And yeah, he was someone who really pushed the English language, so he knew Latin, but he really wanted everyone to speak English. So yeah, they're the main sort of facts around Alfred the Great. And yeah, he's certainly known to be one of the best kings, but a lot of people don't know much about him, because a lot of people seem to start their history from William the Conqueror in 1066, but yeah, 849 AD, when Alfred the Great was born, and he was a very important monarch. On to Edward the Elder. Here we are, here is the plaque. The site of Hyde Abbey, 1110, burial place of Alfred the Great, his queen and their son Edward the Elder. Last known place of where Alfred the Great was buried, but of course due to the dissolution of the monasteries of Henry VIII, they're not really sure. His remains were moved so many times, but this was definitely the last place he was sort of known. And yeah, said his remains might be around here somewhere, but I suppose it's still something they need to keep sort of researching. Edward the Elder reigned after Alfred, so because he was Alfred's son. He was called the Elder, essentially because he was the first sort of Edward. So following them, you had Edward the Confessor in 1042, and you also had Edward the Martyr as well. So the Elder was just kind of because he was the first of the lot. He also held, I believe, the paternity record. He had at least 13 children, so he must have been a very good-looking person. And yeah, he had more land in England than Alfred the Great. So Alfred the Great was kind of the king of Wessex, because the country was split into like 7 different areas. And yeah, he had a couple of other areas as well. So he had at least three of the 7 sort of parts of the country, or 3 of the 6 parts of the country that it was split into. So yeah, there's always that debate of, are they really the king of England? But he had a lot of power. So yeah, there you go, Edward the Elder. Just behind me here is one of the biggest statues I think you'll find of Alfred the Great. It is massive. It's very impressive. I'm just waiting for my ultra runner one, actually, where I live. So yeah, I'll have to speak to the council about that. But yeah, I don't think I'll have a sword. I might just have to hold something else up. Sword and shield. I think I'd hold up like can't be sponges and stuff. Bored of that. Tin of sardines. So we're in the Wetherspoons and I've ordered some funny food. Now, this is definitely not something these kings would have had, but I've ordered corn nuggets in a wrap, and also a first, which I'm so excited to try, is haggis. Never tried haggis. I love black pudding, but haggis is the new one today. And then I've got some quavers and stuff as well. So yeah, not quite the food for a king, but looking forward to trying it anyway. I'm very excited to try haggis. Probably won't like it now. Here we go. There is my haggis, my roasted vegetables, my corn wraps, and then my side salad. And I've got quavers as well. I've never had these in about 29 years of my life. So yeah, looking forward to it. Here we go. Let's try some haggis. Doesn't look the most appetising, but I don't even really know what it is, to be honest with you, but that's lovely. I don't know what that reminds me of. That is really nice. Harry approved. A haggis just tastes like lamb. That's what I've worked out. Right, onto the corn wraps. It's a staple of Alfred the Great's diet. Looks good though. Looks like a chicken nugget, doesn't it? I chose well today. I'm not a fussy eater though, am I? Oh yeah. Right, you're probably sick of me eating now. Off I go. Okay, so we are heading now down to find the plaque of Richard Cromwell. So he was the son of Oliver Cromwell, who Lord Protector. He was the main one. So when the monarchy, during the interregnum period, when we didn't have a monarchy, it was Oliver Cromwell first. Then he basically nominated his son to take over. And yeah, he only literally reigned for a year because politically and sort of military-wise, he wasn't very good. He didn't really want to be Lord Protector. It was kind of just sort of forced upon him. And yeah, after eventually he went back to a British monarchy, he exiled to France, as I was saying earlier, under the alias John Clark. As I said, my one would definitely be George Harrison. That would definitely be my alias. But yeah, he then did come back to England later on in life, and again, just kind of lived a private life. Nobody really knew where he was, and I think he passed away around age 85, which was quite old. But, you know, again, talking about that period of time when healthcare wasn't what it's like today. So yeah, he's kind of a little bit of an unknown. Obviously because he wasn't a monarch himself, but also he wasn't a very good Lord Protector as things go either. So yeah, I think he tried to appease everyone, and by doing that didn't really please anyone in the end. So yeah, my bag is super heavy, by the way. I've got pairs of shoes in it, all sorts. I said nothing's really changed since this ultra, and it's quite hilly here. So yeah, this is certainly a workout. It's going to be 9-10 miles by the end of it. Not quite 62 though, but yeah, I don't think I could do that again at the minute, that's for sure. Look at this, it is very quiet. It's like a long country road we're walking down now. 2.5 miles away, but literally when you get to the end of this, it takes you to a church called All Saints Church, and that's where Richard Cromwell will be. So yeah, looking forward to it. I'm glad there's someone else down there who's not in the car, because a little bit worried that we're going to be in people's way otherwise. So quiet around here. This is a lovely walk. Yeah, we're just surrounded essentially by fields here. You've got pheasants and all sorts, but what a lovely walk this is. Very enjoyable, very enjoyable. It's nice to be out doing it, and as I said, the best bit is you can go to the toilet here and not worry, which is something that, funnily enough, on the ultra they made a big thing. You can't do any wild wheeze, they said, but of course everyone was doing it. Everyone was hiding in the hedges. I actually was too dehydrated to worry about that, to be honest. But yeah, it's lovely and warm. Lovely and warm. This is certainly a worthwhile route, and you can't get lost here. This is the All Saints Church in Hursley, where Richard Cromwell is. I realised, because we weren't really sure why he was buried here, apparently the family vault is here, and actually their real surname was Williams, but they sort of took the surname Cromwell in the end from relatives. So yeah, it looks a very nice church, and we'll go and see what's inside. There we go, 4-mile walk to get here. Lovely walk. And we finally found what we were looking for. So the Lord Protector Richard Cromwell. It is very steep round here, but we've made it back up to over 30,000 steps now as well. So yeah, it's certainly not a bad workout today. All this to see some tombs, but it's good fun. We've ticked 3 more off now. Have to have a look and see how many we got left. Behind me, we've got something called chair yoga and gentle hatha yoga on the sign. I have to look them up and maybe give them a try at some point. It looks a lot easier than what I was doing yoga anyway. And that's it for today. Very much enjoyed it. I am now up to 36,000 steps. By the time I've walked home, it's going to be nearly 40,000. So it's been a real trek. But yeah, it's been good to sort of take in some history. And yeah, as I said, the weather stayed really nice, really warm, and it was lovely views as well. Again, doing the thing I love, walking. And I do have some challenges I want to do with some walks soon as well. So one of the ones I want to do next week is do a 2-hour walk and essentially see how much the alphabet I can get in road names. So if there's a road name that begins with an A, I'll write that one down and see how many of the 26 letters of the alphabet I can find. So that'll be a challenge, and I'll make sure I upload that. But yeah, if you do watch this one, hope you've enjoyed watching it, and yeah, I'll catch you later.